Hey, what's up, family? This video I'm titling Allow Me to Reintroduce Myself. For those of you who don't know or don't follow me on other platforms, Akali724 on Instagram or Nzinga Mbande on Facebook. My name is David Tufts. I also go by Akali. That is my Wolof name. Now, a lot of my material or content is specifically Pan-African revolutionary consciousness. That is something we're trying to breed. We understand the world that we're born into and taking conscious, deliberate efforts to change that in order to create a better world for Black African people. For a lot more of my content regarding that, which is more Pan-African revolutionary messages, you can follow me at Akali724 here on YouTube. And then also Nzinga Mbande, Nzinga Mbande on Facebook. Now, for those who see that I do have a video posted here, I posted about a year ago. I haven't really used this YouTube channel to really do much other than like videos. But I'm gonna leave that video up. It's titled Black Lives Matter is a Fucking Joke. And it's not a diss, not just a diss to the organization, but it's more or less pointing out that it is in the best interests of the Black Lives Matter organization to follow around or ambulance chase every time a Black man or woman is shot or killed, because that's really how they get their funding. But it also, at the end of the video, you gotta watch the whole way through. Those of you who haven't seen Google Analytics, pay attention to that. I know what you guys are watching on my videos and when you fall off. You fall off at the really important parts, and that's more on me. I need to learn to catch your attention within 30 seconds or less to grab you and get you to watch the full video. But we discuss practical solutions to solve many of the problems we face. More or less focus on our economics, our political base, all for the purpose of self-defense. Again, a lot of that content you will find at Akali724 here on YouTube. I'll share in the link description below. However, for this page, I really want to focus on the pillar of health. You know, the three pillars of life: health, wealth, and love, or health, wealth, and relationships. I really want to focus on that pillar of health, because I find within myself, when I have a healthy mind, a healthy body, my life starts, a lot of the problems I see within life, they start working themselves out on their own. Just for me, feeding myself internally with nutritional food, with nutrient-rich foods, exercising and doing all the right things like drinking water, sleeping, stretching, working on mindfulness. And it's something that I cannot stress enough. You know, our health, what we actually consume, has a big part to play in our outlook on life, how we view life. However, this is not just going to be another fitness vlog. Again, I am a Pan-African revolutionary. I believe in the deliberate dismantling and destruction of the status quo, these systems and institutions in place that exploit and outright kill Black African people, promoting a system of omnicide, which is genocide, which is systematic killing of people, plus ecocide. Ecocide is seen as the destruction of the life-sustaining capabilities of this planet. So, that's just going to exude. I love that, exude. A lot of my conversation, that stuff's just going to naturally come out. But to focus on other aspects of life, like health and fitness, something that I've been, for all of us, it's a journey. It's something that I enjoy. It's something that when I focus on, I find balance within my life. For those who know me personally, I've been all in all dabbling as a personal trainer. I've taken a very long time trying to get certified, though. I think it's not like I've actually been trying, it's just I've put in the steps to start studying, taking my certification through ACE. I put in the steps, and then after a while, I'm hit with, I don't really want to study. For the longest time, I thought it was essentially a laziness. And it's partly that too, don't get me wrong. But once you are greeted, or what you come into a Pan-African or African perspective of reality, first thing you realize is that, wow, we are old people, we've been here for a very long time. And so it never really rubbed me right that every single scientific term when it goes to defining our bodies is your Latin, Greek, sometimes Arabic, is European in origin. This is something that is seen as menticide. Menticide is the deliberate destruction of a group or race's mind, with the ultimate objection being the extermination of that group. It is seen as menticide because we have something called the Edwin Smith Papyrus, and I'll share a link to what this thing is below. But the Edwin Smith Papyrus is one of the oldest medical journals on this planet. It is the oldest medical journal on this planet. This is found in Kemet, what is now known as Egypt, which is located in Black Africa, meaning that Africans had a way to list the specific intricate systems and parts of the body in our own languages, in our own realities, and it's something that, there is more to African history, African culture, African phenomena that we have yet to comprehend or re-understand. So knowing this, it was always tough for me. One of the biggest problems I had with studying is the terminology. I'm hit with so many different words and weird, funny sayings, and the Africans themselves, we have a saying called "know thyself," and it's a fundamental mistake to use European words and definition to describe African phenomenon. You just can't do it. So why am I describing the very makeup of my existence, the systems that contribute to my well-being, that contribute to my life on this planet? Why am I fundamentally describing every aspect of my being in words that aren't African or they're European in nature? Doesn't make sense. So because of these thoughts that I have, it's what re-inspired me to want to take up the banner of knowing thyself in the most literal sense, studying the anatomy, learning the specific fundamentals of exercise science, more or less so I can help lay the foundations and build upon African defense. As you see, as you scroll through a lot of my other content, I came to the realization that African people we've had political power, we've had control over our own economy, we had control over our culture. The only thing that we lacked, which we have for a very long time, was providing an adequate defense to more or less subvert the intentions of our enemies, or to stop our enemies from doing the fucked up shit that they do to us. So understanding the exercise science, how we should eat, how we should train our bodies, that ultimately builds to a strong global nation, a global African nation, and building up our literal defense, building up our men and women who will be defending the race in every sense, literal, metaphysical, spiritual. We need to have an understanding of how we ought to live, how we ought to train our bodies to be the best versions of ourselves. And doing all this while finding African terms and definitions to describe our body. As I go through this knowledge, and part of this vlog, I will be posting my workouts, posting my meal plans, sharing what I've been eating, just putting all the information out there that I can to ensure your success and just to have I want to measure these things that I'm doing. So I'll even show you my body right now. I'm a big boy, you know. I want to be able to measure the specifics of what I put in my body. As you see through video, as my body progresses and changes, you see what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. But I want to understand these terminologies so I'm in a position to provide African terms and definitions for these European ways, Latin, Greek ways that they use to describe the body. Like, I believe it's a great task that it's gonna probably take me a long time. It's gonna take other scholars to recognize this, to wanna work to recreate medical terminologies of defining the human anatomy or African anatomy in our own words. But then also I have a few different personal reasons. Give me 1 second. I would have run to grab my journal. 1 second, 1 second. Okay, so I'm back. This is my journal that I used to take a lot of my notes for anatomy, for the ACE professionals, group fitness instructor, one for personal trainer. Just so I'm finding other ways to also generate wealth. I see personal training as one. So anyway, any skill I have, I'll find a way to make wealth. And this is something that I wrote about a year ago. This is when because it's been since 2015. 2015 is when I first started on this journey of knowing thyself and even having the desire to want to be a personal trainer. It's going on 6 years, guys. I've just been bullshitting. I get it. But I'm here. I'm still here, and I'm still pushing towards this. But I wrote in my journal, so my end game, I'm studying to get certified as a personal trainer so I can have a skill to fall back on that will help me generate income without having to work for whites. Because again, I shouldn't have to explain it, but come on, man. We were brought here, literally, Africans were brought to America for the entertainment and enrichment of whites. And this is something that hasn't changed since we've been here. So it's hard for me to see myself as a Pan-African, as a revolutionary, and I still have to work for somebody that I view as my enemy. And so that was one of the reasons why I wanted to pick up this skill. Exercising is something I love. Don't let the size fool you. I'm pretty mobile. Y'all see it in the future videos. I dabble in the calisthenics. I get down. I am the proof of Broly Gaze. I was on the homeboy. I guess Gabriel Say is a few pages I follow. I'll put the links, their links down there so you could check these brothers out. But I gets down, all right? But then also, what does it say? This course of study will allow me to develop the discipline which I will need in order to stay focused on what matters to me most in this life, which is a Bibi Afurie. A Bibi Afurie is from the Akan tree language. It means total African liberation. One of the main problems that I see, I don't know if it's ADHD or I smoke too much tree or is whatever, but it's hard for me to sit down and focus. So I understood and still understand that being able to sit down and study this material will help me develop those skills of focus and guided study. Because a lot of study I do on my own, but it's not systematized. It's just taking in random bits of information. And I'm blessed to have a mind that I'm able to compile that information and understand it in a way to make a coherent message, to verbalize the information I'm taking into my people or when I'm teaching others. But that guided study comes in handy, all right? So, I said if I cannot have the self-discipline to study and take my personal training exam, then I will forever have to rely on whites for my livelihood. Jobs provided by whites will only pay me enough that I have to come back the following week. A job just over broke. Nobody will pay you enough so you can buy the company. They'll pay you back so you have to come the next week. I've been on my entrepreneurial journey. I started a business, Avilia 48 Solutions LLC, market research firm, and I have hopes and aspirations, not hopes, I am planning on building that into a more than a information gathering and processing research institute. Like, I want it to be comparable to the CIA, FBI, I believe. Like, I see this, again, you can find in some of my other content on Akali 724, but I see all Black African people being in a global nation, and in that global nation, we have to find ways to collect research. So first I had the idea of, well, if I can help people sell the products to people, I can get money from it. Then, understanding consumer psychology, what your customers think. I can better help you position your products in the hands of the consumer. Then as I started doing this work, I see that a lot of this is just information gathering. And there's a lot of different means, especially as a nation, that we have to gather information for specific things. We'll discuss that later, all right? So, let me go back. Jobs provided by whites are not only time consuming and distract me from my dream and my goals, they are also degrading and inhibit my mental capacity. Dr. Amos Wilson spoke on this a few times. We've been kept out of jobs for a very long time that allowed us to think and plan, to sequence information and put it together to problem solve. For a very long time in this country, there was this invisible glass ceiling, and a lot of the jobs were just menial. We've been literally bred to serve and work menial labor, and as automation starts coming, that labor isn't really necessary. With immigration, you have cheap labor that, they don't really need Black labor like that anymore. All right. So becoming a personal trainer is the first step that I have to take to place myself in a position where I can determine my own financial worth, set and determine my schedule, and continue to live out a healthy lifestyle. Other benefits include increased knowledge of self and the human body, a better physique, because again, if you're studying this stuff, exercise science, what to eat, it would behoove you, another funny word, behoove, I love it though, it would be in your best interest to practice what you preach. I want to be able to help my mother reach her health and body goals. And the biggest thing is, I'm with a lady right now. She's my better half. She's my partner. Soon she'll be my fiance, hopefully wife. But I want to be in a position like she does her thing. She's also an entrepreneur, business owner, really does her thing. But she's been grinding for the last, 5-7 years of her life. More than that, because, she's just been grinding. And I want to be in a position where she can just rest. Like, she ain't got to worry about nothing. I'll handle it. Just rest. So, I also want to be equipped to teach my people proper nutrition and train them up to be defenders of our race. So this is more or less my why, and just giving you a background of what this page will have to offer. Just to recap, reintroducing myself, rebranding and reintroducing this page. It will be a vlog on my fitness journey as I go through my ACE exam, or the preparation for my ACE exam, American Council on Exercise. I think that's anyways, my certification exam. I have the knowledge, just put it out there. You can see a lot of the posts and videos that I share of that will just be me reading the book verbatim. So you could use that as an ebook or an audiobook for those who don't have the book. I would be, really just putting the information out there as it's given to me. just so I can better understand, practice, teach, and master my craft. And then just providing that free knowledge for anybody who wants to know. You could literally just come to my page, listen, follow the steps as I go along, follow the practice worksheets, practice workbook, terminology. I'll have all that listed. Just do what I do, see what I see. You come on this journey with me. You don't even have to take the time or take the energy to go out and buy the material for study. I'll provide it for you for the free. So it will be doing that, showing you some of my workout routines, showing you my diet. Next month I'm starting keto diet. Just show you what I do, and as you see how I manipulate these different things in my life, and as my body and my mindset changes, maybe that would inspire you to do the same thing. But also, I am reaching out to any Black African person who speaks an indigenous language. As we learn these Latin, Greek, and Arabic terminologies to describe African physiognomy, or the African physique. Let's use our indigenous knowledge to redefine these terms in our own languages, redefine our lives and our body in our own languages to essentially know thyself. And then, as always, I'm always going to come with that Pan-African revolutionary blackly black, unapologetically black consciousness. Like, that's going to just naturally come out through conversations. So thank you for watching thus far. Thank you for rocking with me. Continue to support. Again, you can find me. Actually, I'm not even going to just put the links in the descriptions below. Thank you. Peace, family.